Now, I like to make a lot of videos talking about TikTok creators and how some of them are just absolute degenerates. A good example are the TikTok NPCs that seem to dot all around America. These are people that will just act like a Grand Theft Auto NPC in the street, thanking people for follows, for gifts, and just being an overall nuisance. And I've also talked about people that have fallen off so much they basically have to become professional e-beggars. A really sad situation is Jason Nash, who used to be with David Dobrik in the Vlog Squad, and now he's just, basically e-begging. And he's always chewing gum. I don't know why.
Fish! Let's go! 13-win streak! Go, baby, go! Go, 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 push, guys!
Hey, guys. Thanks for the follow. Thank you for the starship. Oh, thanks for the gifted, man. I appreciate it. And another situation I've talked about in depth is Joshua Block or World of T-Shirts. Now, quick rundown. This is a huge TikTok creator. He has around 2.6 million subscribers. And originally, he was known for reviewing coffee. He'd go to a Starbucks, a Costa. If you even have them in America, you probably don't. But basically, he'd go to coffee chains, get some kind of like cold brew or something, and then do a review.
Could I get a venti iced coffee with 4 pumps of white mocha and sweet cream? Thank me later.
And it was that kind of mix of like wholesome content and the fact that he was learning impaired as well. People found it wholesome. But the real reason why Josh blew up, unfortunately, is because he did these tours around New York City where he'd basically show you, all the sights if you couldn't just, walk around New York City yourself. And on top of that as well, Josh ended up becoming a major alcoholic. And I don't even mean like funny alcoholic. I mean just like he was an absolute alcoholic. He said this himself multiple times on podcasts.
I was an alcoholic maybe for 2 months, like over the summer. I was an alcoholic. Like, I was waking up, shaky hands. I kept taking those airplane bottles of Fireball, and my shakes were coming back. Yeah. I decided, so over the holidays, I decided to abstain from alcohol for 3 days. Yeah. Just to get it out of my system. So that if I have a drink, I won't get withdrawals anymore.
Is that true? Did you not get any withdrawals today?
Nothing. No shakes, nothing.
So Josh's entire TikTok career was him showing himself drinking an insane amount of alcohol, to the point that he was blacking out on the street, to the point that he was posting basically emotional trauma dumps, talking about how his mom's passed away and his dad is like still alive, but he's in rehab, just massively oversharing a lot of personal details. It actually got so bad that people dedicated entire TikTok accounts to talking about Josh and his alcoholism. One I can think of, for example, is the Drink Tracker. This guy is a former alcoholic, and he is now like channeling that energy into tracking what Josh drinks throughout the day and basically chalking up his blood alcohol level. And surprise, surprise, 9 times out of 10 at the end of a video, it is in a very severe percentage that's basically life-threatening. Now, Josh, unfortunately, got involved with a man called Michael Quinn, and he's basically taken on the role as like Josh's kind of pseudo-manager. I think this guy owned like a chain of hot dog stands at one point, but he realized how much money he could make from Josh because Josh was getting a lot of TikTok pull, and especially in America, you can monetize your TikToks. You can make money off them. It's not a lot of money. It is literal pennies on the cent, but if you're someone that's getting millions of views per TikTok, then that's gonna be some kind of income. Now, Michael Quinn isn't a very good mentor of Josh. If anything, he's just an enabler. Like, for example, this clip here of him leaving Josh blackout drunk in a restaurant completely on his own.
All right, have a good night. I'm heading home.
But the thing is, Michael didn't like the Drink Tracker TikTok page because this guy was showing how much of a blatant alcoholic Josh was. He was endangering people around him, endangering his life, his own health as well. So Michael Quinn had an idea. He told Josh behind the scenes, don't post yourself drinking anymore. Don't. You can drink as much as you want, like keep drinking, but you cannot post TikToks of yourself drinking. And this has had a detrimental effect on Josh's career because if you look at his TikTok views now, they're pathetic. Like instead of getting hundreds or tens of thousands of likes. He's getting like just over 100. He has had a massive fall off. Now, I sound like a pretty horrible person here. Shouldn't we be celebrating the fact that he's gave up drinking? The problem is he hasn't. He's still drinking, very obviously, because in these TikToks, you can see him sat in bars. In some of these TikToks, he's showing the receipt on a bill where he's ordering himself like large glasses of wine. He might be cutting back on his drinking, but he is still drinking. But personally, I don't even think he's cutting back on his alcohol consumption at all. I just think he's still drinking as much as he used to, but he's been told by Michael Quinn to not do it on camera, to not give the drink tracker anything to work with. And to that extent, it's worked. The drink tracker for a couple of months actually hasn't posted any new content about Joshua Block because he's got nothing on camera. But what Quinn has done is basically created the worst case scenario, because you've got someone who you've made famous through alcoholism, they're not drinking anymore, and now Josh probably feels he has to be like a secret alcoholic, someone that drinks, you know, to excess, but then they can't publicly put it out there. Now, I can imagine some people saying maybe he genuinely has gave up drinking, maybe he's dropped off alcohol a lot, maybe he just has a glass of red wine with some food, something like that. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, because another popular TikToker actually found Josh on the side of the street one day, and he's like clutching a little tub of Zins, like these nicotine pouches, and it's so obvious the guy is absolutely wasted.
You gotta just drink that water, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe don't take the Zins for a while.
Yeah, the Zins are gonna fuck
The
you up.
Zins don't affect me.
Now, Josh seems to be on this kind of like mini world tour at the minute where he's appearing on a lot of podcasts. Here he is on the GTV show.
Josh, stop messing around when I'm right here, dude. I'm trying to focus up here on your phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you can't do that, dude. This is a
Bet
fucking
you
big
beat that
show.
phone.
You know what I mean? We fly you in here.
I
We put you
put
up at
the-
the Best Western.
He's gonna take the phone from you, Josh.
I know.
Well, oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. This is my assistant, Nicole Tran.
Hey,
Hi,
Tran.
Nicole.
Nice to see you.
Beautiful dress. Beautiful. I love your dress.
Thank you.
My word of bird, you Tran.
$10 dress,
Hey,
$10.
hey,
$75 spank.
yeah.
Oh, smack
Hey,
me.
And you can really tell that he is not exactly a podcast personality. It really is just a mess. Now, the drink tracker has got on Michael and Josh's radar so much that there's actually an entire live stream they dedicated to just shitting on the guy.
I'm aware of it. He's been bothering me.
Yeah, so you don't
I
like it.
blocked him on TikTok.
Yeah.
Warning. Drinking this amount and this often is dangerous and will lead to alcohol dependency. Please drink responsibly. Welcome back, everybody. Today is the recap for yesterday, the 19th. Josh was on a podcast yesterday and did a lot of denying, we'll just say. If you want to check out some of those clips, check out my previous videos from yesterday. But the full podcast, or interview, if you will be released on Saturday by the creator. Josh claims to be slowing down or cutting back and only drinking heavy on the weekends. Yesterday was Tuesday. Let's see how that worked out. Starting off the day at 11 a.m., we have a 99 shooter for 1.5 standard drinks, $2 and 2.
I actually find it insane that this guy has done an entire list of Josh's alcohol dependency. He's counted the amount of drinks. He's counted the blood alcohol level, how much he spent, and then the calories. And I'll be honest, like, I'm surprised right now that Josh isn't like packing on a bit of weight, because compared to when he was younger and compared to when he was now, he doesn't look that great. You know, I mean this, like, I don't even mean, it's really difficult to say this because I know I'm talking about someone that's learning impaired, but he doesn't look good. He looks washed out. His teeth are starting to become yellow. He's obviously not taking care of himself. He's usually incredibly hungover. But at the same time, it is this guy, Michael Quinn, that is just enabling this. I mean, me personally, I don't even think, I think Josh, for the time being, should be in some kind of assisted living because it's very obvious he's incredibly learning impaired. He should not be left alone. He can't be trusted to be left alone. And unfortunately now, because of like the experiences he's been around of these like scumbag managers, he's ended up becoming an alcoholic.
Drinks, $2 and 200 calories. At 2 p.m., we have a tall boy twisted tea for 2 standard drinks, $6 and 400 calories. A few hours later at 6 p.m., we have a fireball shooter for 1 standard drink, $2 and 200 calories. 3 hours later at 9 p.m., we have a large glass of wine. This looks like a double poured, at least 10 to 12 ounces. This is 2.
I think the crazy thing is he starts drinking at like 11 in the morning. And then he won't actually start. It's 12 hours of basically constant drinking. The only time he's not drinking is when he's asleep.
Standard drinks, $16 and 300 calories. And his last post of the night at 11 p.m., we have another Tall Boy Twisted Tea for 2 standard drinks, $6 and 400 calories. Josh had a total of 8.5 standard drinks on camera. He had a max PAC yesterday of 0.06. He spent a total of $32 and drank a total of 1,500 calories in alcohol.
Now, I'm not joking when I say this is Josh on a good day. Like, I'm not joking. There's so much blue there. It's insane. I want to pull up one of the drink tracker videos where he has had an absolutely horrendous day. I found one of the videos I want to show you, and this is when Josh's blood alcohol level nearly reaches 0.4. I think it's 0.35, but 0.4 is when you enter the lethal range. Like, alcohol consumption can basically be fatal.
Drinking this amount and this often is dangerous and will lead to alcohol dependency. Please drink responsibly. Welcome back, everybody. This is the recap for yesterday, December 16th. All I can really say is you're not going to want to miss this one. Really quickly before we get started, the 24-hour window has to start and end somewhere.
Oh my god, look how much red there is, man.
6 a.m. to 5 a.m. It doesn't matter what the start and end time is as long as it's consistent. However, I make and edit these videos around midnight or 1 a.m. on most days. So by the time I'm done editing around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. my time, I schedule the upload for the next morning at around 10 a.m. my time. That means when I schedule a video to upload, there's technically 4 hours left in his 24-hour drinking window. So there's always a chance that by the time I edit and upload a video that he could have more drinks in that small window. This was the case for yesterday where he had a fireball shooter at 4 a.m. I already edited and uploaded that video. So let's break down yesterday. Starting off the day at 1 p.m.
Look how red that is! Look how red that chart is. That is insane.
This is going to come out to about 2 standard drinks, $2 and 300 calories. At 3 p.m. we have a Tall Boy Twisted Tea for 2 standard drinks, $6 and 400 calories.
God.
This brings us to 4 p.m. where we have a mystery Tall Boy in a paper bag. This could be a White Claw, which is
having it in the paper bag as well. Like, that's such an American thing. Why is that a thing again? Isn't it because it's like illegal to have alcohol in public, so it needs to be inside a bag? So then it's like this weird loophole.
2 drinks. This could be a Twisted Tea, which is 2 drinks. This could be a Mike's Harder, which is 3.5. And this could be a Four Loko, which could be 5.5. Whenever we see a paper bag Tall Boy, we're going to count it as 2.5 standard drinks, $6 and 300 calories, if we don't have a way to identify it. Moving on to 6 p.m. Now, this one was a little bit of a stumper for me, but I actually found the restaurant that he was at. It's called Sam's Sunny, and this is in New York, of course.
This is one thing I love about Drink Tracker. He will basically use, like, you know those accounts that try to find like a restaurant someone's been to or like a location, like the GeoGuessr guy? He does this. And I assume because of like complete dedication. And then he can also find out what kind of alcohol Josh has been drinking because, you know, Alcohol Tracker's been an alcoholic himself.
I found their menu, and this is a Sunset at Jeju Island. This is going to be a $17 drink for 1.5 standard drinks.
$17.
Also on their menu, I found his main course, which is something called, I'm going to butcher the name of this, a Tomahawk Galbi.
$17 for a drink.
And that was $46. So
I mean, I know it's a cocktail, but still.
$63. At 7 p.m., we have another mystery Tall Boy in a paper bag for 2.5 standard drinks, $6 and 300 calories. At 9 p.m., we have a regular size fireball shooter. This is the start of his tour.
Why does he take so many of these fireball shooters a day?
Calories. Also on tour, he didn't show it this time, but he did show the front of McSorley's. And always on tour, he goes to McSorley's and has a dark beer with everybody. So even though he didn't show it, I'm counting a McSorley's beer here for 1 standard drink, $8 and 200 calories. At 10 p.m., we have another 100 ml fireball shooter. This is also going to be 2 standard drinks, $2 and 300 calories. Again, an hour later at 11 p.m., we have another 100 ml fireball shooter.
I do not understand like how Josh is able to neck those fire shots. Like I think the only time I've had a fireball was when I was with Chad, Anything for Views in Australia, like 3 years ago, and he had some of those shooters. He got sent them as like a gift or something. I took one, and it is literally just liquid sugar. They're so disgustingly sweet. One thing that's really funny as well, I want to deviate a little bit. When Josh was actually drinking on camera because it would get him TikTok views, a good example is whenever he would drink, he always like kind of visibly gags afterwards. Like his body just cannot process the alcohol. I mean, where's a good one? He posts so many videos. Oh, there's the video with the receipt. Yeah, it's like he's saying he's not drinking, but it's like Coors Light draft and then a glass of wine. I mean, it's not insane, but like still. Yeah, you can see how bad the views are here. I need to go really far back to find when he was actually drinking again. He genuinely posts like 20 TikToks a day, so trying to find one is actually really difficult. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yep, you can see him. He will drink it, and then he will visibly gag afterwards. Look at that! Like, he's not even enjoying it. He's like filming himself, and then he hates it. It's like he's gonna be sick. Now, you could argue that he's kind of playing it up for the camera a little bit because, you know, like, oh, if I act kind of disgusted, then, you know, people will watch the videos because he's obviously getting engagement from it. So that could also be plausible, but it, like, you can't hide alcoholism.
At midnight, we have an Aperol Spritz for 2 standard drinks, $18
That
and
is
300
so
calories.
much money.
And at 1 a.m.
So
we have
much
a mystery
money.
drink. Where are my drink scientists at? My best guess here is some kind of daiquiri or mojito. It looks a bit too opaque to be a vodka
And then his
cranberry.
blood alcohol
so anyways,
level
we're
went
gonna call this
to
1.5 standard drinks,
0.35.
$14 and
That
200
is
calories.
crazy.
I started editing this video an hour and a half ago, and now for the 3rd time he's had another
Why is it
drink.
another shooter?
So here I
It's
am
another
adding more
shooter.
voice to the voiceover. We have yet another 100 ml fireball shooter for
How is he
another
even
2 standard
alive?
drinks, $2 and 300 calories. Breaking down the totals for yesterday, the 16th, it does not look good at all.
That's crazy.
Total of 22 standard drinks on camera had a max BAC of 0.
3,500 calories. Like, keep in mind, the average human male is only meant to take in like 2,500. I mean, I know it's different for every person. That's kind of like measuring your BMI, right? Like, if you measure your BMI to find out, like, if you're overweight or not, if you're someone that works out, you'll technically be classified obese because it only takes, you know, width and height.
0.35. He spent a total of $83 and drank a total of 3,500 calories in alcohol alone. He had an average BAC of 0.18 and spent a total
That
of
is
0
crazy.
hours sober.
Now, as I said earlier, Josh is trying to trick people into thinking that he's not actually drinking anymore, when in reality, he's just become a secret drinker, which is even more sad, honestly. And now, Drink Tracker doesn't actually have any content to work with, so he's now posted a final update video.
My inbox asking where I've been. So I figured I would jump on and give everybody an update. So number 1, why have I not been posting updates about World of T-shirts? Well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. He's no longer posting his drinks. Now,
Yeah.
we know he's still drinking. He admits to it all the time in comments and videos. But if he's not posting anything, there's nothing to track. And the whole point of my channel was not to get him to stop posting his drinks. The point of my channel was to get him and help others stop drinking.
Now, one thing I actually want to point out, how does Josh fund all of this? Because he's spending a fair amount of money on alcohol every single day, and he's going to very nice restaurants with expensive food. Well, like I said near the beginning of the video, he does a tour. He goes on a tour, and you can join him, where he takes you all across the streets of New York. And apparently, for a lot of this, you end up paying an insane amount of money for the tour to fund his alcohol addiction. There's actually a really good video here documenting the entire tour and just showing it's a complete waste of time.
I went on the World of T-Shirts, East Village, and Brooklyn tour experience, and this is how it went. Okay, so firstly, I want to show you the waiver that I had to sign before I went on the tour because I just think it's fucking hilarious.
By participating in the World of T-Shirts experience, you understand the risks associated. This includes, but are not limited to, struck by a motorized or non-motorized vehicle. So if you get hit by a car, it's not Josh's fault. All right, weird. You would not write that unless that's happened before. Community-related violence, robbery, rat bites. Oh, you can tell this is in New York now. Sudden change in weather conditions and falling debris. How dangerous is New York? Jesus. You are voluntarily participating in the world of experience. The world of experience? The world of experience and understand the risk of robbery, injury, disability, paralysis, or death. So you're signing away a waiver saying that if you die, it's not his fault. Dude, you have that stuff if you're doing like the hot chip challenge or like bungee jumping or something. Not walking around New York.
It's fucking hilarious. So even after finding out that there's a high risk of me dying or becoming paralyzed, I still decided to go on the tour. You know what? Because fuck it. So online it says the tour is $30, so I paid that. But when I showed up, he said there was $20 more that I owed and that the 30 is just a deposit. Doesn't say that anywhere on the website. Pretty sure he made it.
So even though they paid the money, Josh still wanted an extra $20 from each person. I'm thinking that's drink money.
up on the spot. But anyways, we started the tour off by him singing us a song. Then he took us to this bar called McSwirly's where he bought us,
I mean, he's not doing too bad if he's got a Tommy Hilfiger jacket.
each one drink, and filmed a TikTok with us. Then he brought us to the subway and the rest of the group ended up leaving. So it was just me and him. Oh, cute little date night. So then we go to another bar in Brooklyn. Same thing. He gets us each one drink, but he gets us high noons this time. And this is how I realized why we paid the $20 in cash at the beginning, because he uses the cash to buy us the drinks that are supposed to be included in the $30 tour. But since people did, she had more money to spend on just two of us, so we could splurge on high noons instead of cheap beer. We went back to the subway. He kind of got into an altercation. This is him dragging me away from the scene. Then as soon as we get off the subway, he starts pissing in somebody's front yard immediately. Almost gets in another altercation. We ended the tour in the liquor store, of course.
Oh
then
my
I got to witness
God.
him making one of his famous downing a nip in the middle of the street style videos live
Oh
and
my
in person.
God.
Dreams.
He looks so iconic though, with his little sailor hat. And also, he always seems to have like a phone charger on him because he's actually on his phone filming TikToks 24/7. So there's a good example. You're basically paying to fund someone's alcohol problem, and your tour guide also pisses in the bush. And also, to make things worse, pretty recently, Josh was actually arrested in New York.
One of the most famous people on TikTok, World of T-Shirts, was just arrested in New York City, and somebody took this video and he was not happy.
What are the odds it's drunken disorderly conduct? It's got to be drunken disorderly conduct. Absolutely.
Now, World of T-Shirts...
Dude, that guy, like... That guy carrying him looks like such a Chad. He looks like that, you know that I Am a Surgeon and the Asian doctor who's like an absolute Chad? Just giving off the same energy.
Now,
Dr.
World of
Han,
T-Shirts
that's
is
right.
super... Also, people saying things like, getting arrested in the Times Square train station is crazy. What did he do? And how recent is this? This is recent as of, I think, 5...
Now, this guy has no idea why Josh got arrested. He's just waffling on. I mean, I get it, commentary grind. But I'm assuming it was for drunken disorderly conduct. I think one of the final updates I can talk about is Michael Quinn, who's basically like Josh's pseudo-manager. This is the guy, as you can see, he's moderating all of his comments. He doesn't let any comments get in unless it's basically sucking him off. Here he is walking down the street thinking he's some kind of badass for some reason, even though he's managing like a kid with learning disabilities who he's made into an alcoholic. But there is a video of him talking about the video of Josh basically just blackout drunk, sat on the street like a homeless person.
So I was talking to Josh tonight about that video of him on the ground in Newark. He said that it was blown out of proportion. And the guy that's sharing that and tagging me and involving me with that, he's just cloud chasing me and Josh. He's just trying to get famous off of both of us.
Okay, getting famous off Josh, maybe, not getting famous off you. I think that's a bit of a cope. Now, I can totally understand that he's clout chasing a little bit because obviously you see Josh, someone who's been, you know, famous on TikTok on the street. Obviously, you're going to film him, even if he's down in a shitty spot. But there's no reason why he should be sat there on the side of the road, like begging for zins.
He's doing well tonight. He's very concerned, though, about the possible TikTok ban. He doesn't know what he's going to do with his life if TikTok's gone. I told him he should join the army. And he said, well, he's not.
Join the army? Could you imagine Joshua Block in the army? No, I don't think he needs the army. I think he needs to go in assisted living for a little bit. He needs help. He needs someone that actually cares about him and can take care of him, not someone that's going to exploit him for money. Also, I like these comments, by the way. The 4 he's let in, it's probably just him on a burner. Just a great guy. Always just a great guy. Thank you for quinning, Josh. He could just shift to YouTube and do shorts or daily vlogs. He needs the Quinn effect. You're our only hope. Okay, this has to be him on an alt. Like, they're forcing this quinning bit so much.
Not strong enough to join the army. He's not fit enough. But he may have to leave the country. But I'm trying to convince him to stay and to take care of himself and get sober.
Yeah, I think the reason why he's not fit enough to join the army is because he's an actual alcoholic that gets like delirium tremors if he doesn't drink for more than a day. Now, I've actually found another video of Josh in a pretty bad situation. This wasn't taken yesterday, but actually the latter part of last month, February. But again, it's the same situation.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Don't say that, yo. You're not gonna die. Come on.
What flavor you got? Peppermint?
You don't mind, right?
I'm an alcoholic.
No, don't say that. It's alright. Don't say that. You
The
mind if I
chino's
get a
going
picture with
straight
you?
to the bicep.
I can't go for more than a few hours without needing a drink. I'm an alcoholic.
You gotta get that sorted, yeah.
I'm an alcoholic. I'll never be able to get sober.
I can't go.
No, you can't.
I think that's just sad. Like, there's nothing funny about that. And thankfully, people in the comments are kind of pointing out that, like, you know, the guys that are around him filming him, they're just being very exploitative. You know, like, you could even hear one of them at one point probably ask him for like a zin. Unfortunately, Josh has a fan base, but it's basically everyone that just mocks on him and hates on him. But not even to the point that when he's at his lowest, people will support him. Because even his biggest TikToks, when he was downing like shooters and like large glasses of wine, the comments would usually be, can't wait to see you like with liver cirrhosis, bro. And obviously him like stuck on the subway saying that he's an alcoholic, he can never get sober. And then a bunch of people just filming him for like entertainment and TikTok likes. They're no better than Michael Quinn. So yeah, I went into this thinking it'd be like a funny haha situation, but I genuinely hope he gets help because, you know, like gambling and drugs and alcohol, like they are horrible diseases and they ruin lives.